The Rumor Rat strikes again with an interesting and intriguing list of Nintendo Switch rumors. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. I've got Gabe here, and a whole smorgasbord of potential leaks reared its head this morning on Reddit thanks to member Das Vergeben, and was also covered by My Nintendo News. And it's a pretty hefty list of 2018 Switch stuff. Now, obviously, this is complete rumor territory, so take it with a grain of salt. Some of these leaks, though, do look to be likely, and some have been referenced on other places such as NeoGAF, so maybe a couple of these will come true. Maybe all of them will come true. It's a weird day and age in the video game space, but as we go through this list, there's a bunch. Let us know which one you're most excited for and which one you think is most likely to happen. Let us know in the comments below. Gabe, I think we're just going to go through all of these one by one.
Absolutely, and we'll see the likelihood of each one of them, which some of these I know probably aren't real in my heart, I think, but start us off here with the first one.
In your heart of hearts,
yeah,
you just know this is not true love. The first one here is that the Switch port of Dragon Ball FighterZ is due to come out fall/winter 2018.
A little bit to unpack here. First of all, if it's real, do you think fall/winter is too late? The game has a release date for other platforms. The beta happened. People are really into it. It has a full story mode. And since the beginning, when this game was originally announced, a lot of people said, hey, why isn't that on Switch? Bandai did come out and say, hey, we want to see how Xenoverse 2 does first. That came out. It did really well. They have made comment about them being happy with the sales of that. So all signs point to this possibly being true. But then again, the question becomes, is fall or winter of 2018 a little too late?
I think this is likely, right? Bandai has come out and said they have 3 Switch exclusive prepped for next year, early next year.
This can't be one of them.
No, obviously, but I'm just saying they're very familiar with the Switch at this point. I can't see them taking 9-10 months to make a port. I don't think that's... I think this happens. I don't think it's fall, winter. And is that too late? I don't know. Currently, Doom and Skyrim are in the top sellers on Nintendo Switch, and those games are a decade old. One's a decade old and one's multiple years old. So
yeah, and just to throw a little bit of context on there, Doom number 3 on the U.S. top sellers list, and Skyrim is number 8. And yeah, you're right; those games are old. So maybe that has nothing to do with it. Maybe the Switch is just such a anomaly that people are still getting these things. But Dragon Ball FighterZ on Switch would probably still be super cool. Hopefully, the game's awesome. But like you said, I think this does happen.
Yes. All right, next one, a little bit more of a new thing. Soul Calibur 6 is in development for Nintendo Switch alongside PS4 and PC. Link would return as a guest character exclusive to the Switch version.
This one's a little pie in the sky, in my opinion. And again, the rumor's out there. Hopefully it happens. This is a rumor to be announced at PSX, so we'll know like relatively soon.
Right.
Yeah, we'll know before the
couple weeks.
Excuse me?
Just a couple weeks.
Yeah, so we'll know about this. Do people still like Soul Calibur? I don't know. Soul Calibur used to be really fun back in the PlayStation and PlayStation 2 era. Since then, I've dropped off. I'm not into them anymore, personally. But I'm sure there's still an audience there. But how would you feel about it? Like, and Link coming back, that would be cool, right?
Yeah, I think it's a good move. And, it falls into my love of having... Nintendo extras in their versions to sort of add a little bit of oomph to that addition. And, is Soul Calibur a hot IP right now? Probably not, but I think it could do okay. And the Switch could use some more fighters, especially if Dragon Ball FighterZ is not coming till fall or winter. I still would love to see an Injustice 2 port. The third fighter pack announced at TMNT has me so excited, but I think this is definitely possible. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if we're I think if we're breaking up into possible, likely, or not likely, this is possible. I think that's where I would fall under it as well. Again, it'd be exciting just to have a Switch game coming out. What I'm assuming is at the same time as a PS4 and PC game. Again, this is just all assumption, but let's say it comes out day and date. I think that could be good.
For sure. Next up, this one a little bit more nebulous. There has been pressure towards Game Freak to get Pokemon's 8th generation out in hopes of a release next year. That'd be 2018. If you recall, Pokemon Stars was Sun and Moon's port to the Switch as an engine test. So apparently Pokemon Stars was real, according to this, but it never was intended to release. It was just a test to get things going on the Switch.
And when I said in my heart of hearts, I know that some of these aren't happening. To me, this is like, I mean, and this isn't indicating that it's coming next year or anything, but they're saying that they're putting pressure on Game Freak. I don't think we see Pokemon next year. Not on Switch. We would have probably been shown more than, you know, the president of a company like drawing on a notepad. Like if there was more to show, I think there was like absolutely nothing there, and they're working on it. So by this time, I'm sure they have stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't get excited for Pokemon for next year. But
I think it is unlikely. I will say they need some major game for holiday. They've used Zelda, they've used Mario Kart, they've used Super Mario. So what is it? You know, is it Metroid Prime 4? Is it Pokemon? Can a Donkey Kong game carry a holiday season? Do they have a new IP? I don't think this is impossible, but yeah, I wouldn't get your hopes up. And we'll carry right into Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 4 should have something revealed gameplay-wise early next year. I'm hearing that a direct in January is where it will be shown, and that exact point has been echoed by a NeoGAF leaker previously, and then they follow that up by saying Bandai Namco is developing the game for Nintendo, which is interesting, especially considering Bandai Namco said they have 3 Switch exclusives that will be announced between spring and summer of next year.
yeah, so this would appear to fall in line. Metroid has a little bit of a history, of being parsed out to other people. Team Ninja made Other M, so Bandai making this would not be something super surprising. And
Namco, and they also have like a lot of experience. As we mentioned, the Switch, they did Smash Brothers for Nintendo, so that relationship is strong, and maybe they could pull it off. And you know, we know that, like I said, Nintendo needs something big. And this could correlate with that. Hey, we've got some cool Switch exclusive announcements for the big Bandai Namco.
You and I are of a different mind when it comes to Metroid. You think it's coming way sooner than I think it's coming.
Yes.
You know, I'm the type that says, hey, they just showed us a logo. If they had more, they would have shown us a little bit more. But, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe that doesn't mean that the logo is all they had at the time. And the game is like well into development. I mean, it's well into development now, no matter what. But at that time, I still think that we don't see Metroid. Like, we'll see gameplay for sure next year, but Metroid's not coming out next year in my mind. I would love to be wrong on that. Metroid Prime 4 being the big holiday seller, even though historically Metroid doesn't really sell. I think that Nintendo can make a push for it now. I think Metroid would... Like, I would even say that Prime 4 is probably going to be the best-selling Metroid. Like, just because there's such a fervor for it now, and the series has been dormant for quite some time. At least in a way that people want, because there was that 3DS game, but nobody...
Right, well, especially considering the Switch and the hype behind the Switch, the fact that we have seen them going into overdrive with production for the next year, and if this is the big holiday title and there's no Mario or Zelda to sort of distract, I think it could sell really well.
Okay, you're going to hate me. I think it's way more likely we get a new Super Mario Brothers than we get Metroid Prime next year.
A new... Like new Super Mario Bros.
Yes, the side-scrolling one. No, not like a new like Mario. No,
Odyssey. Hold on there, Gabe.
No. Odyssey just came out. No, I'm talking about like the new like Super the side-scrolling.
Well, I do think we get an early 2018 Direct highlighting games, because all we've really seen is a little bit of Kirby, a little bit of Yoshi, and I think they do need to start drumming up some hype so that people don't worry about a second-year letdown. But apparently, Animal Crossing is also going to be releasing next year, according to this leak. Some kind of Animal Crossing that's not the mobile version is supposedly coming to Switch next year.
Yay! Animal Crossing, it's historically not my thing. Of course, if it comes to Switch, I'll delve deep into that. But I mean, maybe it makes sense with the mobile version coming out. There is going to be people paying attention to that brand, and again, it makes sense. This is, in my opinion, very possible. So,
yeah, I think we're gonna get an Animal Crossing eventually next year. Sure, I mean it's basically just there's no specificity to that rumor, but this one has a little bit more in terms of actuality and how they think it's going to go. The Switch's Virtual Console will not be how it is currently known to be. There is some kind of a subscription service of sorts in the works, and we know that there is the online service coming into existence next year, and we know nothing about Virtual Console. And people have talked for a while about, you know, what is it going to be? They've mentioned having like NES games as part of the online service and a rotating library. A subscription VC, At this point, I'll say sure. I don't know what they're doing with their classic games, but this could be.
I think if it's like streaming them, I think that goes against what the Switch is, because it's meant to take it everywhere with you, and there's not internet everywhere.
Right.
Unless it's like subscription based to download the games. And then like as long as like you're like subscribed to the Nintendo network, whatever they end up calling it, then they work like sort of like how PlayStation does it. But even then you need some type of internet connectivity. So I don't know. This is weird. I don't sadly, I think Virtual Console as we knew it isn't happening on Switch. I still think we get all the games. I still think we get a form of Virtual Console. It's just not going to be the one that we are used to.
Right, and that's what this kind of indicates. So we'll see. I'm sure that's going to be discussed in a direct that highlights the online features and kind of gives people reasons to pay into that. Next up, one that people have been talking about for a long time. Mother 3 is real. According to my source, it was completely localized and playable. The sad thing that I've heard is that it's being held back for some reason. All I know is it has something to do with not knowing which month to release it in.
There's too many months, Zach. We don't know which one to put it out in.
Yeah. I mean, this has been discussed. There was rumors back at E3 that it was going to be announced. There was rumors back at the initial Switch reveal that it was going to be announced. So I feel like there's kind of like where there's smoke, there's fire. And there's been a lot of mothers. There's been a lot of smoking mothers.
Yeah.
Don't smoke.
The Laura Kate Dale thing, originally what it was where this had come from. Well, that's where I heard of it. At least I'm sure she had her sources. So, do I think it's real? Maybe. Like it's just like such a game that's become almost mythical. Like people have been wanting Mother 3 for a long time.
Right.
So I mean, and I don't have the reverence for the series. I haven't really played like Earthbound and things like that. Not much, at least. So, I mean, this would be cool. It's figure out what month to put it in. Here, I'll give you a month. Just put it in May. There, you have a month now.
Put it on January.
No, don't know. It's too soon.
All right, I like these last two. They're more off the wall. I think these are kind of like your out of left field sort of go for a 50-yard touchdown. According to one of my sources, Square Enix is doing The World Ends With You 2 exclusively for Nintendo Switch. You ever play The World Ends With You on DS?
Yes, that was
it's a cool game.
Yeah, I love that game. It was great.
It's got a really cool like lore and world and some really cool mechanics, a lot of touchscreen stuff. So it'd be interesting to see if they really emphasize that in the Switch version or not. I could see this happening. I think that's we've seen Nintendo target some smaller franchises and especially Japanese development. So this would be cool. I think it would be a nice fan move. People would be pretty pumped for it. I still say do Golden Sun instead, but I'll take World Ends With You too.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like RPGs are perfect for the Nintendo Switch. And here I'm trying to look at when this originally came out, and I believe it was what date is this, Zach? 2007. When it was originally released in Japan, and 2008 for America, and it didn't sell a whole lot, less than 1 million worldwide, according to VG charts. So I don't know how much there is there, but if it is a smaller game, I don't think it needs to sell a whole lot. So I hope so.
There's no way to really predict on this. Again, it's sort of more of a just cool. I mean, if it comes, great.
Yeah.
The last one to me is the most. It would be very, very a big get, I think. And it is that Blizzard is preparing a Hearthstone port for the Switch. The guy says, I'm not sure when this will be announced, but I heard about it at BlizzCon.
Would you play Hearthstone on Switch?
I mean, me personally, probably not, just because I'm kind of over it. It's been out for so many years, and there's been expansions, and it's on your PC, and it's on your phone, and it's on your tablet. But I do think Nintendo attracting so many different third parties and attracting different kinds of games. We've seen an MMO, a MOBA be announced. We have seen, first-person shooters hit. We've seen online-focused games. We've seen RPGs, as you mentioned. Getting sort of a Blizzard card game, I think it just continues to cement that the Switch could sell upwards of, the Wii and the DS range, because it continues to bring just an eclectic variety of very successful and very quality games and apps, if you will, to the platform.
Yeah, like you, I probably wouldn't play it a whole lot. I mean, of course, we try it out. But
Sure.
like you, I think I'm over Hearthstone. I'm not like as hardcore into it as a lot of people still seem to be. But having it on Switch, like you said, it just solidifies things, and there's no reason why I wouldn't be excited for this. And there was mention of this from like a Blizzard like source. They did say like, yeah, we would like love to bring like Hearthstone to as many platforms as possible. A very generic, like very PR friendly like response, but I'm sure it's something that they've discussed. And if it happens, it would be an easy port in my mind, I think. So
Yeah, it's got to be simple. They've taken it everywhere, and it's not that intensive in any way. So
yeah.
All right, that is the list. Which one are you most excited for, Gabe, and which one do you think is most likely?
I would be the most excited for. Can we say Metroid? Just Metroid.
Sure.
Yeah, Metroid, and most likely Dragon Ball.
Nice.
You?
Nice. I'm gonna go with most excited for the Virtual Console actually happening and not just fading into oblivion. And then I'm gonna go most likely. I would say Dragon Ball FighterZ, but I don't think that the second half of that rumor is like. So I'm going to go with Metroid Prime 4 being shown in January. I think they do need to start getting people hyped for their 2018 slate. And Kirby and Yoshi are nice, but that's not going to cut it for like sort of the big tentpole titles. So I'm going to go with getting some Metroid action in January or February.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So let us know in the comments down below. Again, these are rumors, but some of them seem to have some decent validity to them. So take it with a grain of salt. But let us know what you think in the comments down below, and we'll keep you posted if there's any more developments on any of these. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from Nintendo and the Switch and us here at Switch Force. We really appreciate you guys, and we love the community we continue to build each and every day. So for myself and Gabe, Switch Force, out.